Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? We are back. It is the first week of the NFL season, and it's the first NFL Week 1 preview edition coming out from How About That. Changing it up just a tad, little more segment-based. Going to talk about some other things, but we're still going to give you all the details you need to know, the picks we're going to make, the takes we're going to have, and everything in between. Week 1 is here. What an exciting football season we have coming up. Justin, are you ready?
Zach, it's the last time we all have the same record, and there's something beautiful in that.
Nothing better. Burke, let's go.
Yeah. I be going hard every day, shooting far, NBA, NFL, on replay, MLB, major wave, other artists, minor league. I wish we could stop and see who was in your top 5. Scratch that, top 3, MJ, LeBron, and every other discussion. Cross you up while the shooter in the corner be cutting. No, I'm new to the game, call this my introduction. While these topics hitting harder than the snare and percussion. Why do all these other sports opinions always go and lack facts? Only real place left to listen? How about that?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the How About That podcast presented by Bleacher Heads. You can check them out at bleacherheads.com. Zach and I are both repping the HBT merch. We got some exciting stuff in the works with them. Be sure to check them out at bleacherheads.com. We're going to make sure we keep you updated on merch releases and what they're doing on the podcast, on our Instagram story. But make sure you go over and check them out. And I'm going to give you real quick what the ad is. It's just Bleacher Heads. Bleacher Heads on Instagram. Go check them out. Give them a follow. Be sure to follow what they got going on Instagrams. We're going to definitely make sure that we do a lot more with them on the social media side too. So you're going to see some content on our Instagram as well as theirs. So we're excited for that partnership, and be sure to check them out. Maybe some promo codes coming up in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Zach, it's week 1, week 2 in college football. A lot of NFL news today. It's Wednesday. We're releasing this Thursday, so everyone's going to be driving to work, checking out HBT with football on the radar. How are we feeling today?
Pumped. As we started kind of making our picks and going through stuff, I just started getting excited. I love football so much. I can't believe it's here. Use that little student discount for the Sunday ticket. Pretty much the only benefit from the NBA so far coming into play there. And it may only be the only one, and I'm okay with that if that's it. I'm okay with that.
It's the biggest benefit I have.
It truly is at this point. But I'm just pumped. I think it's going to be such a fun NFL season. The AFC's loaded. The NFC had huge news to shake things up right before the season gets started. I think there's great matchups week 1. I just, the red zone news was annoying today, but I'm going to put that aside. I'm just pumped for football to be back.
Yeah, the red zone news, luckily I'm not a red zone. I haven't really been a red zone guy for a while. I think because since I moved here, I haven't had red zones, so I've just kind of been flipping around. Was excited to spend the extra $10 for it, with the student discount. Shout out YouTube TV for working with students, whether they're grad students or undergrad students. So it wasn't the worst thing, but it's just like, man, there were sellouts now. And also the YouTube partnership, I don't know why that made me mad. Maybe it's because we weren't involved. Maybe we have to be involved for us to, or if I was involved, I wouldn't care as much that they didn't include HBT in their little promo thing. But yeah, I just feel like the NFL's selling out. And the NFL schedule, like, we still have only 4:30 games. Like, how are we doing that? But we're not fixing anything. We're actually making it worse. And the one thing that I care about fixing, we're not fixing.
It's the NFL schedule every year is the number one issue we have. I don't understand it. But it's just like, just divide the games up evenly. Just divide the games up evenly, and we'll just be in a good spot. But yet they can't do that. So... No. I don't know. But, week 1, it makes it easy because there's so many damn games. They still messed it up, but I don't care. There's so many games, at least, that we still have good 4 o'clocks. We have great 4 o'clock games. So I'm not too concerned about what's going on.
Yeah, I think we'll get into all of that, but, like, I just give me 4 o'clocks,
Yeah.
But it might be one of those things where I don't even think you go red zone on 4 o'clock with the 3 TV setup that we'll get into. But obviously, as Zach said, kind of going to go a little bit different structure this year. Obviously, we're going to touch a little bit more on some college football stuff at the beginning of each show. Not too much, just kind of high level playoff picture, big things to note. And then we got this new thing coming out that we're doing on the preview pods segment wise. We're calling it the HBT 1, 2, 3. So how this is going to work is instead of going through the entire list of games and we get to things like Cincinnati, Cleveland, or like who cares, no one doesn't, we got one bold prediction that we're going to make, 2 questions that we're going to follow over the course of Sunday, and then we're going to do the 3 TV setup as we go through our picks, kind of touch on the games that we are interested in, and then also just give our picks on games that, you know what, nobody really cares about, and if we overlook something that you wanted to, tweet at us and we'll give us your thoughts or something, or a breakdown on TikTok. But that's kind of the philosophy there, the HBT 1, 2, 3 on the preview gods moving forward.
Can't wait. I think it's going to make it way more fun. I think it's going to divide it up. Like you said, if we're not talking about a game, that's probably your team's fault, so you can complain to us. But and look, a counter could be, what about your teams? Are they worth talking about? Colts Dolphins week 1? I didn't say that.
No,
I didn't say that.
Might not get brought
maybe
up
they
today.
won't be.
Yeah.
May not. So relax.
Yeah.
I'm already countering your counter. I don't know.
I don't want to talk
get mad
about
at
Giants
us.
football.
No, I don't want to talk about the No.
So we're not going to talk about it. But you know what things we might talk about? Broncos.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Things we might talk about? Panthers.
Yes. Thank you for that.
You know, things of that sort. So
Yes.
we'll make sure we follow. It is funny. I'm handling my mom's fantasy team this year for her work league that they just started, and she immediately get the text of like, hey, I need you to do this. And I'm like, you know what? I'll do it. The draft went a little weird. 14 teams went a little awry. Quarterbacks started going early, and I was like, you know what? I'm not in a position that I want to take a quarterback yet. Let me get some value here. So I draft Kyler Murray, and then I draft Bryce Young as the backup later on.
That's the starter.
And text this morning from my sister, you drafted Kyler Murray for mom and Bryce Young as the backup. And it's like, you know what? You got a lot of nerve. You weren't in the draft room. You didn't know how the board fell.
No,
when
the bullets start flying,
yeah,
it's easy to be like, no.
Easy for
I
you.
didn't take a running back until like the 100th. Hey, look, when the bullets start flying, you just adjust to the board. Adjust to the board.
I can't.
I would recommend starting Bryce.
I might. I did take a look at his. Like, is this how we've had to have that conversation. I don't know if I'm ready yet. Offline, Zach and I have had the, conversation with Jalen Coker, obviously. And I made a comment about your guy's got to get my guy the ball. And then it was, hey, you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You have to be all in or all out, which is fair. I'm fine with that criticism from Panthers Nation.
Right.
So I'm gonna put my decision on hold until Jalen Coker comes off the IR.
Let's heal up. Yeah, let's heal up.
So
obviously thinking about all the cokeheads out there.
Yep.
We're really excited for Jalen Coker, receiver 2, to be in the play, but he's going to rest up. He's going to get ready for week 5, and it should be explosive.
And if you're a Panthers fan, it's like, wait, if you start 5-0, you don't even have your best player yet. So.
Well, then it's Ewing theory. Are they better without him? But we don't have. Let's worry about that when we have to worry about it.
That. Look, I'm taking a step back of my comments. That's unfair.
Fair.
That was unfair.
That's fair. Also, the Caterpillar competition this year. So obviously we'll be doing another edition of the Caterpillar competition. We're going to try to make it more easier, user-friendly for you guys to all play with us and against us. And we're going to have a little incentive this year. So if you're able to play half the season, so what is it, 8 weeks a year, and you do your post on Instagram, you tag not only How About That, but you now tag Bleacher Heads as well and put in your picks. If you do that for 8 weeks, Justin and I, on behalf of Bleacher Heads, will provide you with whatever merch that you want. This can be something in the store, or we can come up with something as well. So all you have to do is 8 weeks of submitting at least, and try to beat us a few times if you can. I know people had success against us.
You got to beat us 4 of those weeks.
Got to beat us 4 of them, sure. Tag Bleacher Heads, tag How About That in your story, and then we will keep track of that for you to hopefully get you some cool gear. You've already seen everything they've been able to do, so some cool gear heading your way if you just participate and have some fun with us in the Caterpillar Challenge.
Yeah, and I'm excited for this because it's easier said than done doing these Caterpillar picks. We get a lot of slack. Really, just I get too creative with it. I would encourage you all to get creative with it. Have some fun.
Yeah.
Pick some upsets.
pick some upsets. Don't be afraid to take chances. I mean, obviously you're usually big on those, and you try to get back in. Last year you kind of went too far off the edge, I think. But
we got to contain early.
Yeah,
we can't lose.
Yeah.
We can't lose by week 8.
No. I mean, you were scratching and clawing last year, so I think it's going to be different.
I think it's been 2 years in a row of that.
It has been. I didn't want to say 2, but I was just going to leave it last year.
I appreciate that.
But should be another great addition to Caterpillar competition, starting 0-0 this week. And before we get into them, let's just dive into the HBT 1-2-3.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you want to start? What is your one of the HBT 1-2-3?
I think here's the thing when it comes to week 1 football. I always mention this on, the preview pod, or really on the post pod of everyone, and it happened with college football with some things, everyone overreacts to 1 week of football. All right, after this week, there's still, every team has 16 more games to play, and there's 17 more weeks of football after this 1 week. Let's not overreact to what we see on the field, positively or negatively, because water always finds its level. I think, though, the Texans will have the biggest positive overreaction out of all the week 1 teams.
Okay.
I'm looking at the board. I'm thinking about it. Last year, the Texans were the talk of the town. Obviously, I sold on them. This, when we did the AFC South preview, I was like, hey, I think I'm going to buy up some Texan stock. I think we've had a lot of sell-off. I think we're now undervaluing them. I think that they come out defensively. We don't know how Stafford's going to look. And that defense, like we've always said, is a problem. They got the talent everywhere. Like Will Anderson, I think you said might be Defensive Player of the Year consideration. Am I remember that correctly?
That's correct.
I think that defensively they're going to shut down this Rams team. And then I think offensively, just like a healthy Nico Collins, CJ Stroud coming off of just an offseason, where he's done it now. He's done it 2 times before. He kind of knows a little bit more. Nico Collins is going to be healthy. Nick Chubb coming in. Like a healthy Nick Chubb, we sometimes forget how great of a football player he was. I think that Nick Chubb's going to look great. I just think that it could be one of those things where it's like a 30-17 final score, and everyone walks away like very impressed, starts talking about like, hey, they can run the AFC South. They get to 12 wins. You put them at the 3 seed, and we'll deal with that, or like the 2 seed, we'll deal with that conversation later. Are they the AFC South sleepers? I'm not saying that it's right to have these predictions. I'm just saying I think the Texans will be the talk of the town after week 1, after a dominating performance.
The one is a hot take. It's a bold take, and in week 1, it's all about overreaction. So I love it. We'll dive into that game later with my thoughts on it. And it's funny because my number 1 is in the same division. And I think that after this week, people are going to be talking about the Jags winning the AFC South. People are going to be talking about Trevor Lawrence being an MVP and being back to form. People are going to be talking about he just needed Liam Cohen, and now they're cooking, and all these weapons, and Travis Hunter, and Brian Thomas, and Tank Bigsby, Bretton Strange. I think people are going to buy that Jaguars juice that you and I got you off of it last year.
I'm not.
I got you off the legs last year. I'm not letting it. I'm doing this now so that when they go off week 1, I'm saying it now to protect you, because I think they could go off against. Look, I love my Panthers, but I never said anything about the defense. Let's be very clear about that. So I think it could be an explosive week 1 for Trevor Lawrence. I think you're going to get all the takes. This is the guy that we've been waiting for. He finally found his system, his coach. Now this team, all of a sudden, can they win the South? Can they be contenders? So I'm going with the same division, same kind of talk track, different team here. I think the Jags put up a bunch of points, and the takes on Monday go crazy.
I like that a lot. I think the Brian Thomas thing is going to be interesting if he has big games, because there was a lot of just like Brian Thomas edits that I was a big fan of. Guy's just a cool football player. But yeah, the Trevor Lawrence thing, God, I don't want to deal with that again.
I know.
I don't.
It's going to
happen.
happen.
Like we're too far gone.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Everyone it's how many years we've already done this? How many years can we say, we need a new coach, new system? Like he's like in year 6, like 7, whatever he's in, he's paid. So,
and then if defensively, if what's-his-face pops off, why can't I name it? Florida State, 44. I don't know why I can name about his name.
Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon Walker. It's like if he has like 2 sacks, it's like, uh-oh. Now everything's clicking for Jacksonville right now. This is
telling you.
Yeah.
Yep. Get ready.
I could see that.
So that's my bold take. On to my 2 in the HBT 1-2-3, or the 1-2-3 HBT, however you want to call it. these are two things: questioning, monitoring, things to watch. My first question, Justin, is which horrific team wins week one? There's always, when we get to week one, no one knows they're bad yet, even though everyone knows they're bad, but like players, mentality, mindset wise, like you said it before we started, we're 0-0, we're 0-0. The clock hasn't started, the games have not been won or lost yet, and some team usually wins in week one or week two that we look back 15 weeks later and we're like, what in the hell happened that week? How did that team, the Patriots beat the Bengals last year? Like there's always, I mean, you could say the Bengals probably the past 3 years.
We have to take the Browns out of that. I think we got to take the Browns beating Cleveland out of that.
But there's always one team. And so the two, betting-wise, market-wise, we've talked about wise, are the Browns and the Saints. The Browns, ironically, are playing the Bengals, so there's your chance right there. And the Saints play the Cardinals. And it just feels like, can one of these teams pull out a win this week? Because there's always one that happens typically, but if it's like if you don't win this week with these teams, you start looking at the schedule, and I don't know where you mark the win. So that's one thing I'm looking for this week.
Yeah, I really like question one because I look at the board and I feel like there's a lot of opportunities. Like, there's not you besides Baltimore, Buffalo, I don't think that there's a strict these two teams are going to predicted to be in the playoffs matchup right now. So I think there's a
Lions Packers is probably the other one. But although people doubt the Lions, so
yes, and that is a great point though. Lions Packers, and so there's a lot of opportunities when I look at the board. Like, what if Dallas wins?
I know.
And then now all of a sudden Jerry Jones, owner, the guy I've always believed in.
You love Jerry.
Did he do the right thing? Started that documentary last night.
It's phenomenal.
Are Jerry and Jimmy?
So good.
Spoil. Are they buddies now again, or are we still not talking to each other?
It goes on throughout. I'll wait.
Okay, that's good to know because I was curious what that has that progressive.
Yep. It's a phenomenal show.
You talked about Arizona, New Orleans. Like New York Jets beating Pittsburgh. Like, what if they handle Pittsburgh and it's like what Justin Fields all of a sudden he's the guy. Cleveland, Cincinnati, we only need to get. I think Atlanta, Tampa Bay, like that could be a potential big one. Denver, Tennessee. Like, what happens if Cam Ward pops off?
God.
But all that stuff.
Panic.
Those are always fun things to monitor. I think it's more fun in week one than saying who wins and loses. Is just to be like predict what the media is going to say Monday morning.
Right. Exactly. That's all week one is.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, some team's going to win that we had no expectations of, or be like, oh, this team, maybe they did, and then 6 weeks later, they're going to be 2-5, and they're going to be terrible.
Sounds like the Saints last year.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Did they beat week one? Dallas, or was that week two? That was week two. Did they beat?
I think they played Carolina week one,
and they just dropped 40 on them.
Yeah,
I think it was Dallas week two. It was either week two or week
it was
three.
Dallas week two, and they went nuclear.
And then it was
perfect example.
Yeah, number 3.
And then the Philly game.
Philly game.
What's one of your questions?
And then I think they were 2-5.
I think they were 2-5.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
this is literally exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. My two questions. Number one is Cam Ward.
Okay.
So I'm going to compare Cam Ward to like the Arch Manning stuff, where you're playing on the road, first real start. For Arch Manning, first start for Cam Ward in the NFL against the top defense in the NFL. You could say even the top defense in college football. Like, excuse me. That's a situation where we see what guys are made of, especially for rookie quarterbacks. Like, does he look scared? Does he lose confidence as the game goes on? Do you see him just kind of get more and more into a shell, or is he just kind of like, hey, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna go out there, and he throws 4 picks, and then he just goes out and tries to fit into a tight window and throws 5. I think that's more exciting to watch good to see from a rookie quarterback in this situation than seeing a guy who starts to pull it back and is scared to make turnovers and scared to make mistakes. Additionally, like I said, on the road, top defense in the NFL preseason wise, if he goes out there and performs, after everything we saw in the offseason about how he looks, the comments are going to be that he is the future. And I think that we need to protect ourselves because the Arch Manning thing is a separate story. I don't think that we can react to what he does. I'm fine with overreactions in a positive way of like he's the future. I don't want to do the overreactions in a negative way if he has a bad game. And I'm just excited to see how he looks, what his poise is, what confidence is. If he gets off to a bad start, how does he respond to that? I just think that it's going to be a very interesting dynamic to pay attention to in the 4 o'clock slate. So,
yeah, I think you said it correctly because like no one is expecting Cam Ward to go 20 for 22, 250 and 2 touchdowns against this defense. Like if he did that against anyone week 1, it'd be like, oh my God. If he did this against Denver, then you're like, yeah, this guy, AFC South, like this is takeover. But what's more important is how he reacts when he plays poorly. Like, is he still taking chances at certain, like you said it, like, does he get worried in the pocket all of a sudden, or does he stay calm? Like, what does his mentality look like? Because I think we're both expecting a pretty rough debut, because most quarterbacks do have rough outings against this defense. And I think this is one of the hardest. Like, you're putting this guy week 1 at Denver, best defense, established team. Your team is a below average roster, shaky O-line. Your number 1 receiver is Calvin Ridley. Like, all the cards seem stacked against him. So I'm excited to see how he plays. I think it's going to be a fun matchup. So I think that's a good one to look for. And more importantly, the reactions overreact positively, not negatively, I think is a good point. So I like that.
The Arch Manning thing, it's like, guys, you all put the hype on him. And I know he didn't play great, but I don't think there's going to be a tougher situation than that one. Like, it's one thing to go at Georgia in week 8 when you've had all the weeks to prepare and you're kind of used to it. Defending national champs, best defensive player in college football. It's tough.
Yeah, I get Arch had some weird stuff that happened in the game. I think he probably did get a little rattled, but I'm the timeline. Week 8 is going to tell us everything we need to know about Arch. Like, he's got tune-up games. They're not tune-up games, but they're Texas. They're going to dominate everyone. Getting up to that moment, seeing how he looks up to that moment in that game, like, I can't wait for that game because I think he's going to be a different player.
The other thing, too, is, like, when we watch Arch in the 4th quarter, he was making throws. Like, he was attempting to get the ball. He was attempting to move the ball when they needed to, and he made the passes when, honestly, they needed it in the 4th quarter. I think that if I get a similar Arch Manning and Cam Ward, performance, I think I like that for Cam Ward. Totally. As stupid as it might sound. So
yeah, I'm just not going to worry about Cam Ward for a while. Like you shouldn't with most rookie quarterbacks. Like unless you're seeing things like that are non-football related, like that that are concerning. But with all, like you said, everything we've heard about Cam Ward is he is like the guy you want in the building. So
he's the man.
Yeah. What's your second question?
Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
Ugh.
Monday Night Football.
Ugh.
Like, we saw how last year went. We got Ben Johnson in the building. It's a defense that was problematic at the beginning of the season, especially young quarterbacks. Some of the veterans were able to take advantage of the Minnesota defense. But they throw a lot of looks. They blitz you a lot. They keep you on your toes. Caleb last year, I don't think, was the best at handling pressure. And I think it's going to be an interesting thing to see because this is a defense that Ben Johnson played against twice last year. It's Caleb Williams now, it's your year number 2. Kind of a reset, good weapons there. If this offense looks great, I think it's a really good sign. If it looks bad, again, I'm not going to overreact to that because it's week 1 with Caleb Williams and Brian Johnson. I just think it's going to be an interesting dynamic. Another thing where I want to pay attention more to body language throughout the course of the game than I want to pay attention to actual performance. So it's a Monday night game that has a lot of storylines to it. I think it's a great Monday night game. I'm honestly more excited for this game than I am for Buffalo-Baltimore because, like, Buffalo-Baltimore week 1 tells me nothing. But I just think there could be a lot of things to pay attention to. And a lot of it's off, walking from after a bad third down, walking to the sidelines. How do we look? How does Ben Johnson respond? What is the game plan? And I think it's just going to be something to monitor and pay attention to.
It's such, I can't wait. Like Caleb, you said it, like for all rookies, he's basically in that rookie. Like I'm waiting for Caleb until like week 7, week 8, performance-wise to see how it really looks before we judge him. If it goes bad, I'm not going to overreact like you just said, but the world is going to be burning down in Chicago. And he's playing a guy that Ben Johnson had figured out to a degree. They did some good things against Minnesota, but Caleb's, his biggest problem is holding the ball. And Jared gets that ball out. So what does it look like in this game? Like you're basically getting the full test right here. Like you're getting how quickly can you get the ball out? play after play, be decisive. Can it look like that first drive in the preseason, or are you going to revert back to kind of what you do when you hold the ball, you run around, and you get caught? And it's just like, I can't believe they're playing Minnesota week 1 because it's the perfect test. And it's almost unfair it's week 1 because it's like
that's what I was going to say.
It is like everything we're worried about you. Here's the team that will take it out to the fullest degree if you don't come out and perform. But I'm excited. I mean, I think there's some weird drama or history with Ben Johnson and Brian Flores too from the Miami days. Like, it's got everything.
Mm-hmm. And if I'm a Bears fan, I would 100% rather play Denver.
Yeah,
because AFC doesn't matter. I get it's tough.
Yep.
Week 1,
Yep.
Who cares?
Yep.
Divisional, that defense. I'd rather play the Packers, honestly. I think Minnesota might be the worst team for them to play just because of what happens if it goes south.
And the other side of that, Justin, is not only what happens if it goes south against this defense in this division, what if on the other side of the ball, the first-time quarterback on that side looks JJ. Competent, looks sharp, wins the game with Kevin O'Connell? What if J.J. McCarthy goes and not only handles and composes himself, but outplays Caleb and they win? Like, then you're getting a double whammy of not only did the Minnesota now find their guy, but our guys in year 2 still struggling. Jordan Love's doing this. I think this is the worst matchup for the Bears from a narrative perspective that there could possibly be.
The risk reward is just not there.
It's not there. But you got to play the game. You got to line up. So that would be the ultimate nightmare. And I say this because I don't expect this. And I know, like, look, there's some Bears fans that I told not to listen to the last pod that listened. I'm not going to call anyone out, but there were complaints about you talking about a certain team going to a certain level this year. And to that person, I pointed out, hey, we put your team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
look, I didn't ask for this position, you know.
I told him that.
I gotta do my job.
Mm-hmm. I told him that. And you could probably figure out who this is. I'm not going to call them out.
No,
they're mentioned many times throughout the pod in the past. But I think bringing this up scares me because I kept bringing up joking like Parson trades and then it actually happened. So now bringing up the worst case again for the Bears.
Yeah.
If it actually happens, I'm going to feel terrible. But I feel confident saying all this because I don't think JJ is going to outplay Caleb. I don't think it's going to be a total disaster. So
if that nightmare does happen, I just want the Bears fans to know, like, I'm in it with you because
yes.
After my Will Levis take, I said J.J. McCarthy was a worst prospect.
You did, and there's a lot on the line.
So
because that's a pretty.
Let's revert back to the fact that this is a guy who they did not put their words behind, and I don't even know if they have yet.
They're in a bidding war for Daniel Jones with us.
Exactly. They had Daniel Jones and J.J. McCarthy
tried to get Aaron Rodgers,
and they said, we don't want Daniel to leave. That's the quarterback
I kept sending texts
this
summer. I get it. I'm very eerie of what JJ is going to look like. However, to be worse than Levis, he's got to play some bad ball here. Levis put on a show of what not to do at the position.
I think Will Levis, though, it's one of those things where the guy tried to make plays, which I give him credit.
He did.
I think JJ is going to not try to make plays, and the plays he's supposed to make, he's not going to make. I think they're going to be a stagnant offense. I have zero belief in this offense.
Yeah, he's going to make Bo Nix look like I don't he was a guy who makes just terrible
Troy
decisions.
Aikman. We're talking about accuracy, just putting the ball on people, the timing.
You think you're a game manager? Watch this. He's not going to take any risks at all, JJ. So
he can't even make those mid-level throws.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see that matchup.
But we talk about it. There's so many quarterbacks. I mean, this isn't part of what to do, but it's just there's so many quarterbacks that I'm excited to see what they look like. Mm-hmm. Herbert, I feel like Herbert's always been an argument piece. No one's talking about him. We got Jaden Daniels, sophomore slump. Kyler Murray, we're interested in. Spencer Rattler, I don't even care about. Tua, what does he look like? I feel like we're on Tua hot seat. Geno Smith, Drake May. We got Fields and Rodgers in new positions. We got what does Trevor Lawrence look like? What does Bryce Young look like? We got Michael Penix. We got Bo Nix, Cam Ward. What does Jared Goff look like without Ben Johnson, CJ Stroud year 3, and then we got Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson, and we got JJ McCarthy. There's so much quarterback uncertainty heading into this week, and boy, are the overreactions going to be.
Oh, it's going to be a juicy Monday.
Yeah,
it is. It's just going to be unreal. Let me get to my second question here, or what I'm monitoring. I want to see, and I know it's kind of tough because it's first year there, but I want to see what kind of statement the Seattle Seahawks make on Sunday afternoon. Like, this is a team that we both ended up by default putting as the division champion, and we're like, we don't think the Niners are healthy.
Yep.
Same thing. We don't think the Rams are healthy, and we're out on Kyler. So the Seahawks kind of slid in, and you have an opportunity to play the Niners week 1. And I know this is the healthiest the Niners will be, but it's almost, I'm jokingly saying that, it's almost ironic because the 49ers barely have a receiver lined up to play football. I just think this is a huge moment for Seattle to win week 1, to be this top 5 defense we think they can be, for Darnold to let it rip a little bit.
Yep.
And all of a sudden for us to go Monday morning, are the Seahawks winning the NFC West when we were kind of behind them. So I think they have a huge opportunity. I don't really care about what the 49ers look like. We kind of know how they play and what they're going to do. I'm really interested to see Seattle make the jump, if they can, in year 2 with McDonald. And like, how different is this going to look than when you have a Geno? Because we both don't think it's going to look that different, but that could also be enough to win this division. So I want to see Seattle and what they look like on Sunday against the 49ers.
Well, I'll tell you the talk about this game, Zach. I didn't have that one written down for some reason.
Okay.
I skipped right over it.
That's fine.
So I think that they need to make that announcement to the world because
right.
I overlooked it.
Let
for
us
some
put,
reason.
write you down.
Yep. No, but it's a great point because that's a division that we had talked about kind of I think it was our first division that we did it, and as the summer progressed, 6 weeks later, it just felt like a different picture. A healthy 49ers team is a completely different test than what we might see in December. I don't know when they play them next, but if they come out week 1 at home, loud stadium, Darney looks like he did in Minnesota at the beginning of the year, they're letting it rip.
Yep.
Like the run, the balanced offense opportunities that they have are there. Like they can be the exact team of just, you set with the run and then you throw the ball over their head and you just stop them on defense, right? We can do all of that.
And let's not forget, it's Clint Kubiak, who was with the Saints, who the first 2 weeks looked like the best team in the NFL. So Seattle could definitely go out there and just light it up the first 2 weeks, and we get excited. So
do they have
I'm
like
excited.
a Rashid Shaheed person? I don't want to say like Jackson Smith and Jigba because that's not the kind of guy I'm
he's
looking
like more
for.
Olave.
I
don't think they do.
No.
Jalen Milroe?
Is Jake Bobo fast?
I don't think
6'4" white guy?
Shaheed fast. Yeah. Nope. So we're gonna have to figure that out in Seattle. We got to find who's their number 2 receiver.
Cooper.
Okay,
Torrey
so definitely not him.
They just got a lot of bodies, dude. Holy cow!
They just a lot of the same receivers,
dude.
These kind of just possession receivers.
They don't have a receiver on the depth chart who, besides Njigba, who's below 6'2". They got a guy on IR, John Rice Plumlee. Wasn't he a quarterback?
John Rice Plumlee?
He's a wide receiver.
He was a quarterback and pitcher.
He's a wide receiver now. He's 3rd.
Okay. He's 3rd on the depth chart?
I'd say 5th overall, but 3rd. Like when you go, it goes Jackson, Bobo, Plumlee. But dude, 6'3" Cody White, 6'2" Torrey Holton, 6'2" Derek Young, 6'1" Cooper Kupp, 6'4" Jake Bobo. Those are, and we got to realize. I know, like you're like, oh, receiver in the NFL. Most receivers in the NFL, I would say, are like a majority of them are below 6 feet tall. Like Odell was like 5'11" on a good day.
Jason's good. There's going to be a lot of 10-yard completions in Seattle. I'm not sure where the deep ball is coming this year. I don't think it is, but
I'm nervous about that.
There's no burner on that team.
But dude, they can manhandle teams.
They're going to be
manhandle
physical.
them.
They're going to be physical. Okay, I like that. Okay, JSN really needs to stay healthy.
Yeah.
That's
the over-the-top threat.
That
6'6" tight end. 6'5"
Elijah
tight
Arroyo.
end.
Yeah.
6'5" tight end.
I mean, they're beefy boys. Yeah, I'm
I'm excited to watch Seahawks football. As we get closer to the
I'm
season,
telling you, I'm excited.
they're
What
going
are
to
they
be a
gonna
fun
look like?
team for me to watch.
I like it. All right, let's get to our 3 TV setup. And I guess we'll end it with the prime times.
Yeah, I like that.
We'll do that. So the 1 o'clock slate, 8 games. There's a ton. Let's get into the matchups and our picks. What is, and just as a reminder, as everyone knows, the 3 TV setup's pretty
Presented
simple.
by Vizio.
Presented by Vizio. We're still working on that. What's on your big screen? What's your best game? What's the game you want to watch the most? Second screen, second best game, or something else you're interested in. Third could be anything. Your third best game, your weird matchup, your personal thing with this team.
Yep.
It could be anything. So
The one you
I'll
think
give
no
you-
one else might be watching kind of thing. If
Yeah,
it's third
kind of
best,
the
it's
sicko
third best.
matchup.
If it's like, hey, I want to see this player, how he looks. This is a Maction type game. Like a lot of NFC South goes on third TV.
A lot of NFC South, yeah. We would put it on our number 2 or number 1, but
Yeah.
for the regular person, they're number 3, or they would just go red zone. What is your Sunday 1 o'clock? Obviously, putting our teams aside, if you had to put a team up there, and it could be your team, what's on the big screen at 1 o'clock?
Zach, I was looking at it. I don't think it's the most exciting 1 o'clock slate I've ever seen.
It's not.
I put the Giants at 1.
Okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with
And I
it.
was trying to think, I was like, I don't want to do that. But I'm looking at these games, and it's just like a lot of. There's not a lot of excitement. A lot of boring football games, which I'm fine with. And I'm like, all right, you got the new look New York Giants, new vibes, Russell Wilson, and then you got this, Jaden Daniels, Washington. Like, how do they look? A lot of people think they can be a sneaky team. Obviously, I'm selling. With the defense that the Giants have in week 1, just kind of seeing how Jaden Daniels looks in the sophomore year, I think that's an interesting thing. I think that the Giants, I think the Giants are going to be a fun team to watch this year. And I could be so wrong with that. And I'm putting expectations aside. I'm not saying we're going to be a winning team. I think we're going to be a fun team. I think we're going to have exciting plays.
We need a certain amount of wins now.
We do need a certain one. I'm asking for 8. I think 6 at a minimum.
I think we need 6, yeah. But yeah,
I'm
with
asking
8 would
for
be
8,
great.
but 6 at a minimum.
Okay, you're asking for 8. Okay.
Yeah, we need a certain amount of wins, though. We do, and I would love to get on the right track. I would love to drop that by 1 as we go, but
Yep.
I just think it's going to be. I think the Giants are going to be a team that you look back and you're like, man, like every time the Giants were on my TV, it was a good game. Last year, in the last couple of years, besides like 2022, I guess, in 2020, so 2 out of the last 5, and really like even before then, you just put them on the TV and you're just like, oh my God, this is awful to watch. You just sit on the couch silent. You're like, I feel like I have to watch this game. I don't want to watch this game. There's better games on, but I have to watch this game. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think this is going to be a team that people talk about and tune in for just because we're going to be playing high level teams. I think it starts week 1. I think it's the most exciting matchup on the 1 o'clock slate. I truly do.
And your prediction?
I'm gonna hedge. I'm gonna go Washington. I'm gonna be smart this year, Zach. I'm gonna be smart. I'm not gonna let myself get too excited about things. That's my
Call me
biggest
dumb. I'm
commitment to
I'm
the
going
podcasters.
Giants.
I'm not buying in.
I'll buy in. I'm going Giants. I think this
Okay.
is a perfect example of what I talked about, and not to the degree where this team like tanks after, but just a week 1 game where you're like a 6-point favorite. You're not really thinking about it. You
Yeah.
look at it. You're like, oh, Commanders at home, Jaden year 2, and here come the G-men. I think it's just a fun opportunity for them. I love their defense. I'm very high on it. I think Russ is going to hit a couple shots to Neighbors. I think Neighbors had a ton of success against the Commanders last year.
He did, except he had a first
although
down
you could
drop.
argue he did against most teams. He had that stupid drop. You guys have historically done well against the Commanders in the past years, although that was mainly my guy. I'm saying my guy. We'll get to that. Just dominating them. I don't know if he lost to them, maybe once.
You did long
On a ridiculous, like they changed the flag game, right? On the kick or something.
That one was
Yeah.
brutal.
But I'm taking the Giants. I just think they're going to cause some havoc. Terry just got back. You think the vibes are good, but it seems like a team that needs a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Or maybe kind of a wake-up call. Like, hey, you can't just come out here and win. Because last year they were the underdog. Now they're like, oh, the Commanders. And I think this could be a little kick in the mouth to get the season started. So I'm not just saying that because you're wearing an NY hat on the other side of the screen. I like the Giants in this matchup. I think it's going to get weird, low scoring, but a fun low scoring. I think it's going to be a battle. I like the Giants like 20-17 here, taking this.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to do I think you're going to get to do the opportunity. I know we had talked about it offline that I did with the Colts the last couple of years where it's like somebody's got to wave the flag, you know? And so this is probably a payback year for a lot of that for me. So,
yep. I like it. Okay. So right off the board, one game in, one difference. We usually struggle with that. So that's good.
A little bit different than the preview pod now. All right,
a little bit different. My number one, it's kind of boring. Like I wanted to put Giants Commanders on there, but it's not boring. It's Bucks Falcons. I think this is, look, the NFC South, and there's only two real teams that have a chance at making the playoffs. We all think the Bucks are the biggest chance to win this division. I think it's just a huge opportunity for the Falcons. Kind of a weird matchup in that both teams' anchors at tackle are out. Tristan Wirfs, the left tackle, is out, and then the Falcons' right tackle is out, but obviously Penix is a lefty. So you've got both blind sides out this game. And I think that's a huge issue for the Falcons more than the Bucks, mainly because what is this Falcons pass rush looks like? They drafted two guys back to back to try to help their pass rush. And I'm just curious to see what the Falcons look like defensively because I'm taking the Bucks here, but I think this is going to be a huge matchup. And it's one of those dumb ones where it's like, if the Falcons can win this one, you look back and you go to week 15 and the Falcons are one game back and you're like, wait, they beat them in week 1 though. So if they could just find a way, if the Bucks drop one that they shouldn't, like I hate division games week 1. I hate them because they can have stupid impact later in the season.
Yep.
And I think this is a perfect example of it, where if the Bucks win later down the road, you're like, oh, they got some breathing room. But if the Falcons can win, I think it helps them later on. I'm taking the Bucks just because I trust their defense more than the Falcons. I just don't know what the Falcons are going to look like in year 2. But I'm really interested to see what Penix and this offense looks like. Like we talked about it. Like I think everyone just kind of assumes this offense is going to be like above average.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm there yet. So I'm a lot to see from the Falcons side is why I have this at number 1, but I'm taking the Bucks.
I'm taking the Bucks as well. You kind of broke that all the way down. It is an interesting game to monitor just because, like you said, I was going to mention if you didn't how, Atlanta wins. They're kind of, I think, the team that people are saying if it's not Tampa Bay, I would say it's going to be Atlanta. You get this one early at home. Penix looks good. Just kind of sets the table for the rest of the season. Tampa Bay is going to be interesting too because I think there are expectations for this team. We talked about how we think they could make the NFC Championship. I think if you're a Tampa Bay fan, you're looking at it, with a lot of positivity going in. You got to get one here. I'm taking Tampa Bay. You said it. It is an interesting thing to monitor. I didn't have it on my list. Did you have yours on your list?
There we go.
I mean, the Giants on yours?
I did.
Okay.
I did. So I had them at 2. So why don't you give your number 2?
This one's weird.
It gets weird immediately.
I'm going Pittsburgh Jets.
Sure.
I'm doing it because two teams, that you're just like, all right, new quarterbacks, new systems, guys you're like, I could see them doing well. I could see them falling on their face. What does that look like? More so Pittsburgh. What does Aaron Rodgers look like? Coming out, 1 o'clock. I like that he's not in prime time. I was buying Steelers stock in the preview pod. I like he's not in prime time. Going back to New York, kind of shut him up. We haven't heard a lot of Aaron Rodgers talk, which I think is good. It's a defense that is good enough where if they blow up against them, it's like, okay, that's impressive.
Yep.
How can they sustain drives? What do the shots look like downfield? What's the balance of, run versus pass? When you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers back there, the modern game is so built on quarterback mobility and kind of RPOs, being able to understand, or you have to pay attention to a mobile quarterback. When we look at the list of quarterbacks starting week 1, how many of them can we say are truly immobile? Maybe 2. So 3, I guess, if you say Stafford. Like I'm thinking Flacco and Rodgers, and I think it's just easier to game plan, especially if Rodgers doesn't have what he used to, which he clearly doesn't. So I think it's just a good test early that I just kind of want to monitor and see. Okay, week 1, not going to react, not going to underreact. Really just not going to overreact, but I just want to see if there's a sign of life. Because if we don't see it now, I don't know if we're going to see it in a couple weeks as the body wears down for Aaron Rodgers. But I am going Pittsburgh.
And you're going Pittsburgh. Yeah, and another weird thing is just like this like double revenge factor in this game, but like no one does anyone really care? Like Pittsburgh let Fields go. Mm-hmm. The Jets obviously let Rodgers go. I don't think anyone really cares though. Like it made sense why both teams did it in a way, but there is that factor, right? Like whoever wins this game, after the game there's going to be some comment made by it, especially by Rodgers. If they win, Rodgers is going to have some sarcastic comment. Fields will just probably keep it normal, keep it classy. Rodgers is going to say something. Mm-hmm. I mean, we used to do Big Ten Game of the Week. Getting to 20 feels like a pretty safe bet for winning this game.
It feels like Iowa Rutgers, where it's like you got one guy here like they should be like every year we say Iowa should have a good quarterback.
Last year's Rutgers, I don't know what's going. They're a different team this year. Last year,
Rutgers. That's true. We're playing like
you guys are passing no
right
defense.
Yeah. Like I'm talking like Noah Vedral Rutgers, where it's like I don't know if this guy can throw it outside the numbers or really outside the hashes.
No,
but we can run the ball, and then on the other side, it's like I think the quarterback should be good. They can also run the ball, but like if they have a passing game, watch out. Like this is a national championship contender. So that's a really good combo with Big Ten Game of the Week.
Yeah, I'm going Pittsburgh as well. Of course, the Jets get awful news today. Elijah Vera Tucker's out for the year, got hurt in practice. Yep. Like the whole way this offense is going to have any chance is by running the ball and holding the ball, and you just lost one of your best linemen. So I was leaning Steelers anyways. A 10-point lead in this game is going to feel like 50. I just think the Steelers win a close one, but it won't be that close.
Yep. It'll be close in the box score, but if you watch, you're like, that was not close at all.
No. Right. So I like the Steelers as well. It's gross. I'll jump to my number 3 because you had number 2. It's an easy one. It's the Raiders at the Patriots. I want to not go to the Colts game so I can watch this game. That's what it's going to be like. Like this is a huge game for me. It's a huge game. Week 1. This is my playoff team, and I can't love the Raiders more in it. Like, I think all this Patriots talk all summer, Vrabel, it's a new team, his approach, all this stuff. Like, we talked about it. Patriots don't have players still. And by the way, Christian Gonzalez hasn't practiced this week. He's had a weird hamstring injury. Not saying the Raiders have the best receivers to match up with, but he takes off half the field. Like, that's how good Christian Gonzalez has become. So he's not playing. I still don't know about this offensive line. You've got Will Campbell as a rookie. Hey, welcome to the league. Here's Max Crosby. Like, I don't think I know the Raiders' defense is a problem this year, despite Chin and Crosby. I don't know if the Patriots are good enough offensively to attack that yet. And I just think the Raiders have more players, and now they're going to be decently coached with Pete Carroll to raise the floor enough from where AP was. I like the Raiders outright in this game. I think it's a weird matchup where we're going to look at it in the fourth quarter and be like, the Patriots just lose to the Raiders, and then we're going to relax on the Patriots talk because I think it's gotten a little out of hand. And I love my Raiders. So I like the Raiders here, and that's my game.
I love it. I'm taking the Raiders too. I'm not buying into the New England talk. We kind of broke it down in the preview pod, just like this team has no talent. And you want to know what? Making another comparison. I'm going to be comparison guy today. Reminds me of episode 1 of America's Team. Jimmy Johnson. You're like, great coach.
Yeah.
He comes in and it's like they can't win football games. Like, but he's a great coach. They got to build in New England right now. They're multiple off seasons away. You answer the question with Drake May. I think at quarterback,
I do too.
You get the left tackle if Will Campbell works out. Okay. Where else?
I also don't think that means Drake May is going to be a top 15 quarterback this year. Like, I think Drake May could still struggle and be like in the 20s.
And it's fine for him to struggle.
25. And it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
We're going to have the same conversation that no O-line, no weapons.
Yeah.
Like, we've done this before with rookie quarterbacks. We're going to keep buying the stock, keep holding it, keep that value up. I think it will offer returns eventually.
Yeah.
I'm now looking at it in the 2025 fiscal year.
I can't wait. So you're on the Raiders as well.
Yeah. My number 3, I'm surprised I have that 3. I'm going Carolina Jacksonville. I'm surprised you didn't have this. It's just, I don't want to be involved in the takes after this. I don't even want to be involved in the takes before it.
This is the take bowl.
I feel like I just have to see what happens because I know so many takes are going to come out of it, and I just have to know. I just have to know what happened. I'm going to stay agnostic pre and post. I guess I got to make a pick. I'm going to go Jacksonville just because of the Carolina defense. I'm not buying stock on. I'm certainly not buying on Jacksonville. I have eliminated. I have been barred by the SEC from buying Jacksonville stock. In the short term, hopefully the long term as well, but we're still waiting on some court filings to be finished. Carolina, obviously, we're holding out till Q2 of the season. So,
thank you.
I'm going to stay agnostic pre and post. I'll let you give your breakdown, but I'm going to take Jacksonville.
Yeah, I kind of talked about it with the hot take, so I'm going Jacksonville. I think this is just going to be a funny game because I think it's going to be high scoring, and we're going to be talking about the offenses, and I think the smart people are going to roll on the tape the next week and be like, both these defenses stink.
Yeah.
And especially on Carolina's side. So I think it will be like a high-scoring game, 28-24, maybe probably a team gets to 30. I just think Jacksonville has more defensively. Like, they at least have, like, names outside. Like, Derek Brown plays for Carolina on the defensive side.
J.C. Horn may not be healthy.
Right. Like, he's never played.
I don't think I've ever seen him healthy.
No.
I still believe in him.
After Derek Brown. I still believe in J.C. Horn, too. At least I can name 2 Jags defenders or defensive linemen. So, yeah, I just think Jacksonville's going to score more. I think it'll be a fun game, fun plays. But I just like Jacksonville in a shootout, but yeah, this game's just going to be hilarious. Like, there's going to be takes like crazy after this.
What do you want? And this might be an unfair position. I'm not asking, like, what do you want to see at a minimum from Bryce Young to say, I feel confident after game 1? Like, I'm not asking, like, to blow the world away, but, like, 60% completion, 2 touchdowns, this many yards, kind of what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's almost like the rookie conversation for Cam Ward, but to the extreme. Like, he's just got to be composed. When the pressure comes, he can't look like the 4-5 guy. That, like, no, I say 4-5, not speed, like the height. Like, when his first 5 starts in Carolina, we're like, why is this guy just crumbling and look so tiny out there? He just needs to be himself. Move in the pocket, run when you have to, but don't look panicked, and just be in control. That's it. Just be in control. That's all we want to see from Bryce. And the numbers will follow. So, I'm excited. All right. What did we not get to in the 1 o'clock slate? The first one I have not talked about is Bengals at Browns.
Nothing to add. Just we'll see if the Bengals can win. I'm taking the Bengals, but
I'm taking the Bengals. I mean, at least this is the most like stable they've been going into week 1, which is saying a lot because they just signed their defensive end last week, but it's still more than they've usually been. So yeah,
and there's literally no talent.
You cannot lose to this game.
Like, if the defense looks bad against this team, we're going to do the same thing we did last year. So,
yeah. Like, not to overreact, but if they lose this game, like, I am 1,000% out on this team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the Bengals as well. Dolphins at Colts. Here's the deal. Here's the deal with this season. I'm just going to say this now.
Yep. No.
And then we're going to get out of the way.
Yep.
I want to enjoy football. I want to enjoy the Colts. I know how this is going to go. I know how this is going to end. I don't care. I'm going to enjoy everything that good hopefully happens until that point. So I am cheering for Daniel Jones. I am going to ask for the TikTok to be sent to me Sunday morning, and I would like it sent Sunday morning.
Okay.
He changed the game. Okay? We're talking about a guy with Daniel Jones who's got his best offensive line he's ever had, best weapons he's ever had, most sound structure. Sorry, this is an awkward conversation, but it's true. And by saying that, I'm not talking like we're the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you guys were in some dark times when you had, like, when you went to the playoffs, you had Hodgins and Slayton as your, like, Hodgins was receiver 1.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that guy is anymore.
Not on
the
the team.
He was awesome.
I don't think.
But he was. We could talk about that stretch. Like, that's an off season where it's like, remember the Hodgins run from like weeks 10 to 17? Like, he was on.
We thought he had it.
He was
Thought
on.
he was a guy.
So you can do the whole bullshit, talk yourself into like this is the most Daniel's ever had, and it's probably true. So go out and play good football. Sure, go win the division. I don't know. I'm taking the Dolphins. We suck week 1. I don't care about the play for Jim stuff. This is the best version the Dolphins could possibly be. So if they lose this game, like, McDaniels is getting fired by week 4. Even though the Dolphins secondary is awful, I just think Lou, the way his defense plays, it's a lot of communication. I think it's going to take some time to figure out. And when you're playing the Dolphins, that's not a great opponent to get things figured out week 1 in a dome. So I'm going Dolphins.
Yeah, could get awkward this year. I'm fine with that. I'm making sure that I don't say anything because I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here.
I want
as
you
an
to say
outlet.
things.
No,
Yeah.
I let's be honest. I'm rooting for Daniel Jones. I hope Daniel
I know
Jones.
you are.
I hope at the
That's
end of the
your
year
guy.
we're just like, no, that's the guy that was drafted 6th overall because he
Yep.
changed the game forever. Okay, that's what I want. Now, what happens is a different story, and it's not my team anymore. Now, if he was on the Jets or the Steelers, I'm still talking all. It's not my story to tell now.
Yep.
And so I'm not going to allow myself to tell the story. But I'm here, Colts fans. I'm here. I'm with you. I'm supporting you. I'm taking Indiana, and I'm going to say this for one reason. I just don't want to deal with Miami this year. I kind of want it to end. And so that's more of a personal pick of I don't care who Miami could have been playing the Browns this week, and I'm taking the Browns because I kind of want it to end early. I don't want this to become a November conversation where it's but he did start 4-2. Let's remember what happens if guys stay healthy. I don't feel like doing it right now, so I'm kind of just not going to pick Miami for the first month, and I'll deal with that in Q2.
Fine with it. It's only 2 differences so far, both involving our teams. That's perfect. Cards Saints, I have no comments. Cards, I'm not talking about this game.
Could care less.
Okay, let's go to the 4 o'clocks. My big screen game, it's there's 3 really good games.
Yeah.
So they all have a case. I think Lions Packers has to be at 1 though. Okay, for me. That's perfect. I love this game. Obviously the Micah hype. Hopefully he'll play. We don't know, but it sounds like he's going to play. But this is just the Lions have almost been forgotten about. The Packers are now everyone's favorite. The Lions is a team that won 14 games last year, 15 games. But they lost both their coordinators. So what do they look like? There's just so much to watch in this game. It kind of speaks for itself what this matchup means for both sides, for both teams. I'm taking the Packers. I just think I trust what they are more than what Detroit is. The Packers are everything. We kind of know what they're going to be. We already talked about it just with Parsons now. The Lions, we don't really know what they're going to be. We know their identity, we know their philosophy, but there's 2 new coordinators, and you just don't know what that's going to look like week 1, even if you know what the talent is and everything around it. So I think the Packers at home are just a more certain understanding of what I'm getting, so I'm taking them. But I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a physical battle. Great NFC matchup, but I'm going Packers.
I'm going Packers as well. You laid it out. I think that the one thing I've started to realize for Detroit is this could be a Philly 2 years ago. New coordinator. You're coming off of a great season. New coordinators. Didn't look good. You make the playoffs, but it was kind of an underwhelming season. And I think we kind of see that a little bit at week 1. So I'm going Green Bay. My number 1 was Tennessee, Denver. I kind of talked about it already. I'm taking Denver.
That's awesome.
I'm just really excited to watch this football. It's the game I'm most excited to watch.
Yeah,
this weekend.
It's your TVs.
Yep. So we already talked about it a lot. So I'm just going to say I'm taking Denver.
I got Denver as well.
Okay. What was your
number 2? My 2, Rams Texans. I absolutely love this matchup. I think there's some weird things going on here because I think it's going to be low scoring. You've got the Texans offensive coordinator who was with the Rams, so they both kind of have that kind of washes each other out. You've got a Texans offensive line that we think is horrible. We're not sure what their run game is going to look like with Mixon. And then the Rams, your left tackle and your quarterback are back to practice for the first time this week after not being in training camp at all against this Houston defense. So I think this is you think Stroud, Stafford, you think fireworks. I don't know if we're going to get that. If I had to bet on one side to get it, I'd probably do Houston just because I think they're a more sure thing with Stroud and Nico right now against a Rams defense that's frisky but could be beaten. But I'm going Rams because I do trust if there's an upside more, it's probably the Texans, but I do trust that the Texans could have some issues week 1 with the new coordinator and this offensive line, whereas the Rams, Stafford can miss all of training camp and still probably perform enough, but I think this is going to be a dogfight. 17-14. Tough game. I'm taking the Rams in a tight one.
I'm taking Houston. I kind of already talked about. I think that's going to be the overreaction thing. So I'm kind of taking Houston big. I don't think it means anything long term. I kind of think the Rams, weird offseason. I think Kupp, like, in not being there, I think it changes a lot. I know that he was out, so, and they still have Puka. But I just don't know what that offense is going to look like right now with the Stafford stuff and defensively. Like, I don't know. Like, the Rams just kind of feel like a team that gets slow, and I don't know why that is. They just feel like it's a slow start team. That's just kind of the way I feel about them. I have no thing to back that up. That's a gut thing.
I like it. It's going to be a close game. I guess that leaves.
My 2 is Detroit Green Bay, so 3s.
Okay, so you didn't have Niners Seahawks on the board.
I had them as my 3.
As your 3, I
didn't have Houston as my LA, so I had Detroit Green Bay as 2. 3, Seattle, San Francisco. We kind of talked about already. I'm taking Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We don't need to dive too much into that one, I don't think.
No.
You taking Seattle too?
All right. I took Seattle too. Yeah, for all those reasons I kind of talked about why I'm excited to watch them. I think they're going to win this one. Let's get to our prime times. Thursday night to start the season. Dallas at Philly. I mean, I don't know what the world is that Dallas wins. Is it turnovers and Dak goes ballistic, I guess? Like, what's the world where Dallas comes out and wins this game?
I don't know if there is a way. I would love it. I'm actually, like, I would love for Dallas to win this football game. And that has a lot.
Yeah,
for new listeners there, I get I'm a Giants fan. I could care less about the Cowboys. They have been zero threat to me in my entire life. I was trying to think the other day. I was talking to somebody. Like, I can't think of a time the Dallas Cowboys won a playoff game in my life.
They won one. It was a weird one. They beat.
Was it when it was the Dak before San Francisco?
They beat Seattle at home against Russ.
Yeah.
Like, I think when we were in college, and then they lost the next game.
And I mean, they've never made it to an NFC Championship game. So, like, they've only won wild card games. Like, I just don't. Right. They're not a threat. I think it'd be hilarious for Jerry Jones' press conference after being like, like, I want that so badly.
Also, Sirianni, like, why is the team not? I would allow them to be out there for the banner dropping. Just relax. It's okay if they watch it. But their team's not going to be. They're going to be in the locker room during it.
Well, and also Saquon's releasing a documentary.
Saw that.
Too early. Also, if you think I'm watching a guy who, like, talks about decommitting from Rutgers and then, like, leave it. Like, I'm not watching it.
No, I would not if I were you. Right.
There's like a million players that'd rather watch a documentary on the same. So, I'm taking Philly. I really don't see a world that Dallas wins.
No. Let's go to Friday night in Brazil.
Can
Chiefs,
I say something?
Chargers, of course.
This game I would actually care about if it wasn't in Palo Alto. Or not Palo Alto. What's that city called? Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo?
Whatever it is. Brazil.
I know what you're talking about.
We saw the game last year. Turf was terrible.
It was awful.
Guys couldn't cut. Defenses couldn't tackle because of it. I'm taking Kansas City. I think it'll be close. I really don't care about this game because of where it's at, and I don't think it can be a judge. Because last year, I know it. Like, the Philadelphia Eagles were able to dominate on the running the ball, but I don't think it was a good. Like, after the next month, we were kind of like, wait, that game really did not teach us anything about it.
Yep.
I think that if we're talking about dominant run games, that's going to help, to compete. I think the Chargers are going to be able to do that better. Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see what the Chiefs look like with Kelsey being a year older. I don't want to hear about the YouTube stuff. I don't want to hear about Taylor Swift. There's so many things I just don't care about for this game.
Are you going to have this game on?
I don't know. What's the college football set on Friday night? Does Mercer play on Friday night? Or does UC Davis play on Friday night? Because I'm watching that game instead. I don't know why. I'm just so against watching this game.
James Madison at Louisville.
That sounds like an awesome game.
Yeah.
Western Illinois, Northwestern.
Sure.
Who's gonna get their first win? Is there any FCS game that night that sounds like if Mercer or UC Davis play? I'm 100% watching that game. Gosh, they don't play that day. I just don't care about that game. And it has to do with everything off the football field. So,
Yep. No, I'm taking the Chiefs as well. I think they actually could win by like a touchdown or more here. I don't know. This game kind of bores me too. That's insane to say. It's got Patrick Mahomes and Harbaugh, and we just kind of know what these games look like. The Chargers will hang in there all game. They'll be really tough. We'll be like, oh, the Chargers, they might win this. And then they're going to lose. Like, this has been every Herbert game against the Chiefs. They've kept it close, but they never win. It feels like, at least. So I think with Worthy, I think he has a big game.
Yeah.
Pacheco's back. Like, I just think we're still underrating the Chiefs a little bit, which is psychotic to say. But it's like the Chiefs are still the best team in the league. And I think that they put on a little bit of performance here and win this game.
yeah.
I'm not interested in it either. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Denver, Tennessee, Friday night. I mean, I'm having a party.
That should have been a Friday night.
Yeah.
Sunday night, Ravens at Bills, a repeat of the divisional matchup last year. I mean, this is like the game, like you said it, like this game doesn't matter, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
Nothing from this game will matter when they play each other in the playoffs. I'm taking the Ravens just for a little bit of a revenge factor. And I think the Ravens are the better regular season team. I think the Ravens are the best regular season team in the NFL. The issue has never been the regular season with the Ravens. They are the most talented team by far. So I think they're going to put on a little bit of a show here. Lamar, Derek, like until Derek slows down, there's no reason to doubt him.
Yep.
The Bills are really good, but I think the Ravens get some revenge, win this game. Everyone's going to be like, this is the Ravens' year. No one's going to care until the wild card or the divisional when they actually show up and perform. So both these teams are on like auto cruise control until the playoffs, so I don't really care. I'm taking the Ravens.
Yeah, you said it. This is going to be a good, like, let me monitor Sunday night. Not monitor. Let me watch Sunday night. Just, drink some wine. Just sit back, relax, watch
It's like
a
a
good
fantasy
football
matchup,
game.
if anything.
Yeah, I also have the Ravens. I think when we look at last year's playoff matchup, not that that does anything, the Ravens were the better team, I think. It's just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Like, we forget how many bad turnovers they had that were not caused by Buffalo, that were caused by Baltimore, and then Mark Andrews dropped the football.
Oh my God, it was such a bad. I actually rewatched that recently. It's worse than I remembered the whole game.
Yeah.
Like
and
the
I
fact
remember I
that
was
the
on
Ravens had a
plane.
chance to win is insane.
Like they shouldn't have. So I just think that when we look at these two teams, like you said, Baltimore's more talented. I'm taking Baltimore. So, but it'll be a fun game.
That takes us to Monday night. Does your pick change on kind of what we talked about with this game? We talked about this game for a while, but are you going with the Bears?
I'm going with Chicago.
I am too. I like Chicago a lot in this game.
I'm gonna have my Devin Hester jersey on.
I just worry about our good friends in Chicago.
No.
I worry about them.
I do too.
worry about them because I care.
I don't like talking like this.
No. But we have to talk about everything that could happen in this game. So that was part of it. We're both on the Bears. Okay, so that leaves us with 1, 2, 3.
3.
That's not bad.
That's
That's
not
better
bad.
for us.
Not bad. Not bad.
But here's where the money is won and lost, Justin.
Yes.
It's the blowout of the week. It's the upset of the week. I will do you the honors in choosing which one you want first.
I don't think I get that honor because you won. I appreciate you giving me that opportunity, but I don't think I deserve it. Now, remember,
That's classic.
Upset, they have to be a money line underdog. Blowout, they have to win by 10 plus. If they are a double-digit favorite, they have to cover for the blowout to win.
And if they
you get an
lose,
extra point.
you lose twice.
And if they lose, the blowout pick loses,
I
you
struggled
lose too.
with.
And if you pick a underdog to blow out a team, you get an extra point on top of it. So it's like a 3 point.
Well, you really get 3.
Yeah, it would be 2 points because you got the blowout right and the underdog right, but then you get a third as a bonus. So
Yeah, because ideally, you probably think that you pick them to win the game as well.
yes,
Although that'd be an interesting hedge if you chose an underdog to blow out a team that you did not pick in the actual competition.
it would
Something
be.
to think about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so blowout of the week. I will start. I think this one is easy for me. It's Denver. We talked about it a lot. I just don't see a world where in week one with a rookie quarterback and a young team and a below average roster, goes into Denver and really to win by like I don't see them putting up more than 14 points. I think they're probably in the 10 to 13 range. So I think Denver gets to about 23 in this game. I see like a 23-10 win for Denver here. I think it's a blowout. I don't think it's close. I think the game actually might be worse than the score. But I think the score is close just because Denver will probably be on cruise control, play a little conservative. They won't really need to attack the passing game. I got Denver by over 10 here.
Good pick. I'm gonna take kind of the other 8.5. We got the two biggest ones. I'm taking Philly. I don't see how.
Come on, Jerry.
I don't see how they don't.
I don't either.
Beat the brakes off the Cowboys. So
right.
I would love to.
I agree.
Because it would just be. I think that'd be the funniest thing in the world.
It'd be awesome. Your upset of the week.
Upset. So my opportunities are the G-Men, the Raiders.
You do not have the G-Men.
You're right. I don't have the G-Men. Got a little excited there. You're right. You got the G-Men. I got the Raiders.
And the Texans.
And the Texans.
The Seahawks.
I'm sorry to do this, Zach. I'm taking Las Vegas.
Okay. Let me quickly delete my pre-entered upset of the week.
It was too easy for me.
Okay. That's kind of messed up.
You don't make friends in the category competition.
Do I go for the early 2-shot kill with the G-Men? I'll go Seattle. I feel better about Seattle winning this game. They're an underdog. I like the Seahawks to win. Outright.
I like that.
All right, 3 differences. I'm on the Broncos and Seahawks for blowout and upset. You are on Philly and Raiders for blowout and upset. What a week 1 we have in store, Justin.
Yep.
Any closing thoughts?
I just think, I know that this one, the 4 buys come into play. Obviously we're going to be a little bit over an hour because there's some extra games to talk about. So expect that the next couple months. Excited for just kind of the new structure. Feel free to send us your 1, 2, 3, your 3-team setup, your 3 TV setup, any bold predictions or questions you want to monitor. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. I'll put those links or those usernames in the bio, or not the description, whatever it's called. But yeah, football, man. I say it every year. It's my favorite little spiel to have at the end of the show. It's hope, and it's a powerful thing. Everyone's 0-0. Everyone has an opportunity right now. You take this, next couple days, if you're, assuming you're playing Sunday, and just soak it in and be like, you know what? Let me get excited about my team. Because you may not have this opportunity to do it again until next season. To believe, hey, I have an opportunity to make the playoffs. If this, and this happen, and maybe you got to add 10 more things to this list, my team can make the playoffs. My team can be special this year. My team can be fun to watch. You get one opportunity to stand up, put on your music. I'm an AC/DC, for those about to rock kind of guy. Turn it up, get some good food, put on your jersey, put on your hat, open up the blinds, set up the TV, sit on your couch, and just say, hey, this is year for my team. And believe. Because you don't know how long it's going to last. It may last a couple weeks. It may last all season. It may be like me last year that it only lasts 15 minutes. But that fumble against the Vikings when we got the ball in the red zone to start the season truly was the highest of highs that I've experienced as a Giants fan in the longest time. And I know it was only literally probably not even 2 minutes into the season, but it made all the pain something to look back on. And I think as football fans, we got a lot of people in this podcast who have teams that aren't good. We put ourselves through to so much torture. Soak in that moment when you get to that peak. You may go higher, and maybe the highest you get, and if it's in week 1, that's okay. But soak it in, because you got to wait another year to do it. And so that's my advice to you. Soak in the hope. We're all 0-0. Let's have some fun this week.
Burke, take us out.